Ah oui, la commotion.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Oh mon Dieu, êtes-vous le théâtre qui Oh merci. Oh monsieur, qui est là?
La femme she est le prompteur, the most important person in the company. When we go crazy with improvisation, she gets us back on track.
Which we do.
Monsieur,
Je suis le meilleur.
he is the mayor.
Et mes citoyens, et moi, le meilleur.
As the mayor,
Nous sommes heureux de vous avoir ici.
he welcomes us here.
Monsieur,
Oui.
quelle histoire direz-vous ce soir?
Les fourberies du Scapin. Oui.
Oh, vraiment?
Yeah.
Oh, c'est très bien. Souvenir,
Yes, remember.
jouer, danser, tirer,
Play, dance, speak.
votre humoresque,
But in a funny way.
pour tous les gens, sourire.
For everyone to laugh!
Mais,
Very good.
souvenir,
Yeah?
no pas grosse.
Oh, no more of the sweary stuff this time.
Only.
Oui.
J'espère, les amis, souvenir, j'espère vous braver dans l'histoire de le schemings of Scapin.
Enjoy the show!
Non, je vous en prie, c'est terrible.
Oh, qui êtes-vous?
She doesn't like the theater!
Oh, fermez la bouche.
Non,
He
monsieur.
say shut your bouche! Shut your bouche!
Ça, c'est la vache aux fenêtres.
Very good.
Mesdames et messieurs, pardon pour le crazy chien.
Kind of a dog.
Regardez avec moi les acteurs dans les buffooneries. Le programme commence.
I got this.
What sort of news is this to tell, lover? If it's not one thing, we find it's another. Sylvester, we must ready for our attack. You say now that my father's coming back?
That's right.
He comes today without a warning. You say he's due to come this very morning?
This very morning.
And oh, strike me dead, he comes with plans that I might soon be wed.
Well said.
To daughter of Signor Gerard?
That is the word of what a man goes want.
A summons from Taranto has been sent to bring the girl to answer his intent?
Yes.
You heard this from uncle at the court?
Court!
Who received from father this report? Report. And uncle knows all of what we do.
All.
Don't make me drag it out of you. Speak up. Don't stretch it out for weeks and months.
What's there left to say? You got it all at once. You left no item off your inventory.
Oh, at least advise me how to end this story. My father will have me resoundingly thumped.
Don't look to me. I'm similarly stumped. I, too, could use advice in this morass.
To me, my dad's return is an awful pass.
To me, it is no less of an affliction.
Would my father hears of my dereliction, he'll shower me with his enraged reproaches.
Reproaches? No such punishment approaches. A fraction of the storm of heavy blows he'll rain upon my back, my nose. For your ill follies, I'll receive redress.
Oh heavens, how might I escape this awful mess?
Oh, you should have thought about that ere you sealed your fate.
Your moralizing comes a little late. You kill me with your timeliness of lessons.
You kill me with your silly indiscretions.
What about me? Where am I to turn? How to escape disaster stark and stern?
Signor Octave! Why do you fuss and fret? What trouble could have got you so upset?
My dear Scapin, I'm undone, I'm lost. This tempest has my luck all turned and tossed.
How so, my boy?
You mean you haven't heard?
There's no one shares with me the slightest word.
My father comes here with Signor Durant to set me up to win the wife they want.
And what's so bad about a deal like that?
This would be the source of such a spat.
Well, tell me then, what tangles up your cares? I've great regard for all of your affairs.
Oh, might you free me from this awful fate? I owe to you a debt that won't abate.
Well, truth be told, there's not much that I can't accomplish once I've got the proper slant. The gods give me a genius for this scheming, and whether I be waking or just dreaming, I have an aptitude for such intrigue which jealous others, nowhere near my league, call trickery or shady machinations, which are to me but fun manipulations. In fact, I've built up quite a reputation for matters which demand some inspiration. And yet, the world can't comprehend our merit. They pry into our doings and they ferret. Those lesser minds won't rest till they've attacked us. And so I've simply given up the practice.
What happened?
Just some trouble with the law.
The law?
They thought they saw some certain flaw, a matter where we weren't quite eye to eye.
The law knew.
I couldn't quite comply in matters where some others were more righteous. I grew so angry that I thought I might just resolve no more to serve my fellow men. Enough of me. Now, tell me if you can, what is it brings you to this latest crisis?
You know my father, seeking cheaper prices, set sail upon a business, taking in this Signor Durant with whom he has some business.
I know.
He left Sylvester while Signor Durant left his son good Leander in your care.
Yes, and I've done quite well on that score.
And since then, Leander's fallen for a gypsy girl who's come within his view.
Ah, yes, it seems I heard about that, too.
As we are friends, he told me all about it, and took me out to meet this girl he touted. I said I thought her beauty somewhat splendid, but my indifference left him much offended. And though I thought her to be quite a pretty girl, I did not see her as that much a pearl. But each day he told me of her beauty. As I attended him, her my duty, he told great tales and stretched the truth a bit, exaggerating grace and charm and wit. He scrutinized her slightest conversation, and each day brought forth another declaration of how this object of his fond affection approached the peak of feminine perfection. He scolded me for even thinking of some other who might yet surpass his love.
I fear that I don't follow quite your drift.
One day he brought this girl a little gift, and as we passed along a little road, we heard a sobbing from a near abode. And paused to ask the source of woe. A woman said that if our hearts might know a sadness unlike any we'd yet met, within those walls one we'd not forget. Our curiosity thus led us through this door to witness this awful plight, and I cannot forget that moment's sight. There lie a dying woman on the bed, a maidservant lamenting at the head, and then the foot torn up in all her tears. Was the finest lass I'd seen in all my years.
Aha!
At such a moment, most girls would have hardly halfway looked quite half so good, for there she lied, with nothing on, modest. Except for a flimsy petticoat and bodice, she wore a tiny nightcap, and her hair cascaded onto shoulders that were bare. And even dressed in quite this careless way, my thoughts repeatedly to her would stray, but 1,000 fair attractions filled her face and spoke to me with the fairest charm and grace.
Ah, now I see the purpose to your praise.
Had you but seen her in this tender state, your heart would have also been quite enraptured.
Oh, I can see quite well how you've been captured, and have no doubt about her many charms.
Her tears were not the tears of petty harms, but rather added luster to her face, as down her cheek a path would slowly trace. It was the fairest grief you've ever seen.
I wasn't there, but from your words, I glean.
We all dissolved in tears as we observed this tender girl break down and all unnerved. She threw herself upon this dying lady, releasing sighs profound as well as weighty, sobbing out to, oh my dearest mother, expressing love transcending any other. No one might watch and not be penetrated by feelings which this girl herself had created.
I see, and so I simply must surmise, her feelings swept you up to sympathize, and now this wave of love is carrying you to this girl.
A shrewd barbarian would have fallen in love with the girl on the spot.
Of course, I see that, and how might he not?
I tried in vain to offer consolation, as we, with some discreet consideration, withdrew. And there I asked of the good Leander to tell me with honest forthright candor his thoughts about the woman who touched my soul. But rather than the praises I'd extol, he said he only thought her somewhat pretty. Disturbed by his great lack of heart and pity, I thought to keep my feelings deep inside rather than give him occasion to deride.
We'll be all day here if you can't cut short. Allow me to abridge his long report. From that occasion, his heart was afire, and none might give him the quantity that he required. He longs, he hopes, he pines, and he aspires. To what console the lass whom he desires. The maid, though now his mistress, unto death, and one allowed to the trade with breath. My master sinks into a dark despair. However, he might beseech, implore, and swear, he does see the love to which he's clinging. You see, the girl is of a good upbringing, and though they've nothing left for their support, unless the pensions are without a resort, to which a marriage is the quick conclusion. They will not tolerate bold intrusion. His newfound love is charged with desperation. He thinks, debates, condemns his hesitation, resolves to solve the problem in many ways. He's been married now these last 3 days. And now, his father's due at once, whereas we thought he'd be gone for months. His uncle spilled the secret of the wedding, and news comes back that's even more upsetting. A wedding has been planned abroad. You wed the one who wins his father's nod, a daughter of Signor Gerard, who's born of a second wife. We'd not been warned of.
And add to that the poverty in which my love now lives as I confront this hitch, without the means to solvently support her.
And of such trifles you can't make short order? Sylvester, you deserve an awful cuffing for getting so upset for such a nothing. Can you not improvise the slightest ruse to take the father fully from his shoes? A simple stratagem, an easy trick to get around a father dull and thick. You blockhead! Any man could set this right and not get tangled in such awful fright. With such a man, I'd lead him like a child. I'd cart him round and leave him all beguiled. Why, I remember I was up to here when I knew trickery would be my career. My name was then synonymous with scheme.
Admittedly, we hold you in esteem, and haven't quite got your fine expertise for getting into trouble with police.
Here is my lovely Hyacinth.
But Tom, can it be true, these things I hear? Sylvester told my governess Noreen that your fallen friend is now to come between, to wed you to another loving wife.
It is the worst news of my cursed life. It is the lowest blow of lowest blows. But why these tears, my dear? You don't suppose that I by some other might be led astray? Do you not know the love that I feel today?
Oh yes, today your love is fast and short, but that does not mean it will be secure. For all the complications that might follow.
Might my promise to you be so hollow? Could love for you be such a fleeting song?
I've heard, my love, that your sex sings less long and man's fire to be cast as quick as set.
Then know this flame you lit for me will ne'er be Daddy! What? Daddy. Yeah, my love, unlike these other men who find themselves in love again and again. I shall love you until my dying day.
I do believe you mean what you now say, but power of your fond sincerity may yet be trimmed by the severity of anger that your father brings to bear. He seeks to bring another to your care, and should that happen, I should surely die.
No father's threats could force me to comply, my darling Hyacinth. If he should try to make me render up my love a lie, I would renounce my country and my being. Even now, without myself yet seen, the woman whom my father would present, I swear she be the one I will resent. I wish my love not to be cruel or hard-hearted, but the sea may keep us two forever parted. So please, my dear Hyacinth, don't cry. Your tears will drown my heart unless they dry.
All right, I shall wipe my tears away and await the fate I must obey.
I'm fickle, my love will be fulfilled.
If you stay true, I'm sure it shall be willed.
I shall be true to you, my love, I swear.
Then I shall face my fate without a care, for your love shines more than the brightest jewel.
It seems this little one's nobody's fool, and yet she is a sprightly little goose.
Here is a man who might be of great use, if we might only get him to agree.
I have forsworn a world which slanders me. However, if you both were but to beg.
If it is all, I gladly bend my leg, and ask of your assistance for our sake.
And have you no request you'd like to make?
I too beseech you here on bended knee, that you might grant this tenderest plea and offer up your valuable assistance.
Ah, well, you overcome my weak resistance. All right, I'll help.
I swear that I will do whatever it takes.
Enough, be quiet. I have a plan. Go off now while we try it. And you, get ready here to face your father.
Thought of facing him does bother the shy timidity which I cannot shake.
You must resist that tendency to quake the moment that he gets into your face, or else he'll sniff the scent of your disgrace and treat you like a disobeying child. So straighten up. Don't get yourself beguiled. Be ready to respond to his attacks.
All right, I'll do my best.
Let's try it through. Relax! We'll see how well you hold up in your part. Be steady now. Chin up. Be hard of heart.
Like this.
A little more.
Like so.
All right. Imagine I'm your father, filled with spite, and answer me as you would answer him, as anger makes him bubble to the brim, as he should rant, "You blackguard, wretched son, you good-for-nothing fiend, unworthy one, how dare you stand before me after all you've done? I've never seen such wicked gall. Such tricks you'd play on me while I was gone. Is this the fruit you give, you wicked spawn? Do you now pay me that respect I'm owed, to give unto me thus this galling goad? Come on now. Such impertinence, such cheek, to plight your faith when I'm not gone a week, contracting to a marriage on the sly. But I, for one, would like an answer why. Let's hear from out your own mouth your excuses. How do you answer itemized abuses? Oh, what the devil, can you stop his cheering?
It's just like my father that I'm hearing.
And that's a reason for you to be stout instead of gaping at him like a lout?
All right. I'll do my best, I promise. I will not bow.
You promise?
Promise.
Here's your father now.
Ah!
Octave! How soon he's flown? I guess we'll have to face him on our own.
Well, what shall I say to him about the thief?
Just let me talk and follow where I lead.
Is it he ever heard of such transgression?
It seems he's quickly got a bad impression so that he talks with no one there to hear.
The nerve!
Let's listen in.
It would appear that they intend to make some lame defense.
We thought that might exculpate our offense.
Perhaps they will attempt to just deny it?
A simple ruse. I don't believe I'll try it.
Or do they think to somehow justify it?
We will if it won't instigate a riot.
They'll try to put me off with some fool ploy.
We might, but mainly one will most annoy.
I will not sympathize with any tale.
There's some I know are never known to fail.
They cannot pull the wool over my eyes.
I suppose you're in for a surprise.
I'll shut my son in some obscure retreat.
Well, then we'll make a more secure deceit.
Sylvester, I will gladly fray with glee.
Oh, I knew eventually he'd come to me. Ow!
My son's most worthy chaperone. Next time I'll simply leave him alone.
Good sir, how fine it is to see you back.
Hello, Scapin. It seems you never slack in tending to my orders so completely and keeping son's affairs in order neatly.
You're looking rather vigorous today.
I'm well enough. Have you no word to say?
How was your trip? Did you not go to Greece?
My trip was fine. Allow me scold in peace.
You want to scold?
I want to scold.
Scold who?
That scoundrel there.
But why?
Oh, surely you have heard of how he stacked this final straw.
I think I heard about some slight faux pas.
Faux pas? It's a catastrophe, a blight.
I guess in your own way that you are right.
But it's an effrontery with ill intent.
That's true.
A son who weds without consent.
I guess that I can see your point of view, but I'd not make much fuss if I were you.
You're not me, and I'll make my share of fuss. Have I no right to clamor and to cuss?
Oh, well, on that score, I was angry too. And when I heard I took your side in lieu of your ability to chew them out, you should have heard me scream and stamp and shout. Ask him how I harangued and how I hiss your father's feet you are not fit to kiss. I told him even better than you would. But as I calmed, I later understood it wasn't quite worth raising such a stink. He's not as in the wrong as one might think.
Not in the wrong. To marry an outsider? To speak such vows while standing right beside her?
What can I say? It was his destiny.
Well, that conclusion has the best of me. By that right, every murder, every crime are justified by destiny sublime.
Oh, sir, such allegory you have thought up. I simply meant that by events he's caught up.
And when got him caught up in this affair?
Oh, sir, you can't expect him quite to share your genius for philosophy and prudence. He's not the master, just one of his students. Young men are young, yet, if I may, with candor, such errors also fall to our Leander. In spite of all my prodding and instructions, attempts to be discreet in introductions, we see the product of this youthful curse. That lad's gone and accomplished something worse. I think that you yourself were briefly young, and that your oats were fully sown among the women with whom you were known quite well. I'm told that there are tales that you might tell, which through the years have grown and don't diminish. How you saw your loves through to the finish. There wasn't one not left with your impression.
That's true, but I conducted with discretion and never went as far as he has gone.
What would you have him do? It was begun in perfect innocence. He sees a lass who can't resist a word as he walks past, for, after all, he takes after his pop and causes ladies' hearts to catch and stop. He finds the girl charming, visits, flirts, perhaps some words of love he softly blurts. She sighs, he presses in, and she surrendered, and compromised position was thus rendered as, sword in hand, in rush all her relations and force him to the nuptials declarations.
Oh, the genius of the man. Profoundly skilled.
Would you prefer your son to have been killed? There always was that option there instead. It's better to be married than be dead.
I didn't know that was how all this came about.
Ask him. He'll tell you just the same.
You say it was by force this mess was tied?
Oh, yes.
I told you, sir. Would I have lied?
Well, then he should have seen the magistrate before the two of them might consummate.
Well, that's the very thing he could not do.
It would have made it easier to sue without the complications of divorce.
Divorce?
Oh, yes.
You'd not do that.
Of course, why wouldn't I? This case must yet be filed. They cannot do such violence to my child. My rights to this are plain for all to see.
I think you'll find your son will not agree.
He won't
No.
agree.
No.
Won't he now? My son.
Do you want him to tell how this was done? That he was forced to act in face of fear? He has some sense of how this will appear. Admitting this would do himself a wrong and shame his father to the jeering throng.
No, I don't care a bit about such matters.
He must, to save your honor from these chatters, insist he wed of his own inclination.
No, he must tell the court the situation.
I'm sure he won't.
I'll force the boy to swear.
He won't.
He will, or I will disinherit.
He will?
I will.
Oh, that's a real laugh.
What do you mean?
You'd not do that by half.
I wouldn't.
No.
No?
No.
Ha! Now that's funny. I wouldn't cut my son off from that money.
You wouldn't.
Who will stop me?
You yourself.
Me?
Yes. You'll want to share with him your wealth.
I won't.
You're joking.
No, I'm not.
You scoff, but deep inside you'll find that you are soft.
I'm not.
Oh, yes, you
I'm
are.
really not.
Oh, nonsense.
Don't say nonsense.
Oh, what rot. I know you, sir. You're naturally good.
I'm not. I'm bad. I'm bad. I really couldn't. What's in this talk is bringing up my mind.
Whoa!
You find my son and bring him to me while I find Senor Durant to lend a hand.
If I can help, sir, you need but command.
I thank you, sir. Oh, why must I be stuck with single son inheriting my luck?
Whoa!
If I would have the daughter heaven claimed, she might as only heir be quickly named.
No! Oh, I must admit your greatness and your talents, yet our future hangs well out of balance. The money we're living on is running out, and creditors are chasing us about.
Don't worry on it. We're closing on our goal. I simply need a man to play a role. Ah, yes, of course. No, wait, stand over here. If I could simply change how you appear, pull down your cap to look more like a hood. Now, put your weight on just one leg. Yes, good. Your hand upon your hip. Look, with a glare. And act as though you're just about to swear. Now, strut around as if you were a player who handles the part of Swarthy Dragon Slayer. That's good. Now, follow me and hitch your hoist. I'll teach you to disguise your face and voice.
Oh, I beg of you, don't embroil me with police.
I promise you, I'll fight for your release. And if we must, we'll each share like a brother the punishment the law gives to the other. A few years in the galleys, more or less, will not break us, however hard